This is Dusty Vinyl Radio.
Fight! Black Steel Mind! Let's go! Instrument available. Every thought a weapon, nothing malleable. About the conviction of the documented real. Everything that built to stop us we can feel crumbling. The architecture of the suppression. Every generation adds another lesson to the curriculum of resistance and survival. Every setback of the history spurred revival of the movement. That's the constant in the function. Every broken road arrived the same junction of awakening. The steel of understanding. Black steel mind, the freight train never landing. Short of the destination, full momentum. Everything they placed in front became the medium through which we built our understanding. Sharper, black steel mind, the soldier in the harbor. Black steel mind, fight. Black steel mind, fight. Everything they used to blind us opens up our eyes. Fight. Black steel mind, fight. Black steel mind, fight. Everything they used to blind us opens up our eyes. Fight. The history is longer than the telling. Every chapter they remove keeps swelling. At the seam of the official record, every true suppressed returns, no second chance to keep it buried. It resurfaces, everything authentic always surfaces above the counterfeit. In time, be patient. Black steel mind, the sharpest in the nation of the real, and the aware and the awoken. Everything they tried to silence has been spoken in the language of the pavement and the cipher. Black steel mind, the movement made us lifer. Soldiers in the long campaign of truth. Everything we carry started in the youth of a people with a history worth knowing. Black steel mind, the seed is always growing. Black steel mind, black steel mind. Everything they used to blind us opens up our eyes. Black steel mind, black steel mind. Everything they used to blind us opens up our eyes. Black steel mind never dulls, never bends. The battle never ends. It only transforms.
It's crack.
Siege mentality, the fortress built from the inside. Every wall I raised was raised with something I survived. Biblical, the architecture of my understanding. Long before the battle, I was always planning for the siege that comes to every soldier in the winter. Every diamond mine was forged inside a splinter of the universe's darkness. That's the origin of everything I carry. Every discipline I'm touring in. The 7 seals of understanding broke before me. Every revelation added to the story, written long before my birth. In ancient cipher, every verse I walk is on a pilgrimage, a lifer in the temple of the real and the devoted. Everything I know was taught before it was quoted. Siege mentality, prepare the walls for winter. Every battle teaches something to the victor. Ancient wisdom in the architecture of the modern struggle. Every breakthrough comes in waves that burst the bubble of the comfortable. The siege is always near. Everything that makes you comfortable is fear. Wearing comfort's clothing, recognize the costume. Every soldier knows the difference in a real room from a stage 1. Feel the frequency of danger. Siege mentality converts the saint to ranger of the mental battlefield. No quarter given. Everything I understood was soul driven, out of reach before I had the tools to reach it. Built the tools from scratch before I had to teach it. 12 apostles of the concrete congregation. Every sermon on the block, a revelation. Siege mentality embedded in the marrow. Every wisdom I acquired through the narrow path that opens when the siege is finally lifted. Everything I am came from what I was gifted. Through the fire, through the darkness, through the proven. Siege siege mentality. The walls were always moving.
The siege never ends, only changes in its form. The fortress that you build inside must weather every storm.
And in the final chapter of the siege eternal, everything external becomes internal. Walls you build outside are just extensions of the architecture of your own dimensions. The real siege is mental, always was and is. Everything I conquered started with the quiz that the universe presented in the mirror. Every answer that I found just made it clearer that the battle is the building, not the winning. Every ending in this cipher is a beginning. Siege mentality, the fortress is the soldier. Everything I carry makes me colder and more precise. The temperature of diamond. Every verse I write is on the highest island of the consciousness. The siege became the teacher. Siege mentality. I am the fortress and the creature. The siege, the fortress, the fire, the soldier, the cipher, the wire, the wire.
Nocturnal Mission. Nocturnal Mission. Nocturnal Mission. The operation starts at midnight. Every element of the plan was built for dim light. Cover of the darkness is the natural alley of the ones who move with purpose underneath the sky. Navigate by stars and by the rhythm of the city. After dark, the streets reveal a different kind of gritty truth. The nocturnal hours peel in layers. Everybody's face is honest, everybody's prayers surface in the silence of the late night quiet. Every mission runs more clean without the riot of the daylight and its witnesses in judgment. Nocturnal Mission, that's the real adjustment that separates the ones who really move from those who talking. Every midnight in this city has me walking with a purpose and a plan already in position. Nocturnal Mission, execute the vision. Combination of the master in the nocturnal hours. Nothing faster than a mind at rest, yet fully activated. Every thought connected, unmediated by the noise of daylight and its million distractions. Nocturnal Mission, pure and real transactions between the mind and the objective. No interference. Everything I planned at midnight had the clearance of the real. That's what night provides the thinker. Every star above the city is a linker between the past and the potential of the future. Nocturnal Mission. I became the suture that connected what was broken in the daylight. Everything made sense beneath the midnight sky. The mission always runs more clean in darkness. Nocturnal, that's where the real starts. The night reveals what the day conceals. Nocturnal Mission is how the real one deals.
I'm saying we like dudes.
Raw frequency.
Raw frequency. Broadcast from the borough. Every signal I transmit is uncut and thorough. No compression on the message. Pure and unfiltered. Everything I built was built before the gilded age of everything that sound the same in processes. Real rap got calluses and battle possesses. Every scar across my knuckles tells a chapter. Work the midnight hours with no pause and no laughter, just the grind. The relentless forward motion. Brooklyn raised me with a cold and calculated ocean of experience that can't be bought or traded. Everything I am was built and never faded. Raw frequency. The
signal never weakens, even when the system try to silence and misspeaking what we built from nothing into something lasting. Raw material, no wax, no cash.
Real, recognize real, that's the universal signal. Every counterfeit gets filtered from the minimal contact with the truth of what we built here. Nothing soft survived the winter, everything was killed here. That ain't code, that's evolution, that's selection. Every element that stayed became perfection in the raw and unrefined and most authentic. Everything the system calls a threat is sympathetic to the people who was left out of the picture. Every frequency I broadcast is a fixture in the culture of the real ones, still remaining while the counterfeit stays comfortable and fiending. Rugged and relentless, that's the only frequency. Brooklyn to the world, transmitting with efficiency. Raw signal, never sanitized or packaged. Every bar I spit is from the uncut average. Life for someone who survived by staying focused. Raw frequency, the realest and the closest.
The signal never stops, the frequency stays raw. What we built will last long past the final bar.
Raw frequency, raw frequency, raw frequency, raw frequency, raw frequency, raw frequency, raw frequency.
Figured out the angles when the system tried to frame us. Architects of survival in the urban equation. Every variable accounted for precision. Patience, read the blueprints of the city like a language. Every building got a story, none of them are anguish without purpose. Every crack in every sidewalk taught me something in the silence of the night walk. Watch the stars from rooftops in the project towers. Calculated orbits while they questioned all my powers. Knowledge wasn't handed, it was taken from the chaos. Every lesson cost me something, that's the true cost thesis. Wrote my name across the sky in syllables of fire. Never let the circumstance determine what I'd acquire. Cold mathematics, the equation stays the same. Every move I calculate before I claim the game. The universe provides the formula. If you listen, every detail in the street is something that you're missing. If you move too fast and never pause to study, maps are written in the alley, in the gritty, and the muddy. Learn to read between the lines of what they never said. Understood the system's architecture code and spread across the concrete canvas of the borough. Broke it down, rebuilt it, made my knowledge thorough. Every book I touched became a weapon and a compass. Every conversation had a layer and a promise. Underneath the surface where the real ones calculate. Everything they tried to limit, I would navigate. Go refine through fire, that's the ancient law. Everything I built was built on everything I saw. Cold mathematics, add it up and check the total. My existence in the cipher is devotional. Add it up. Every number tells the truth. The streets taught me that before the classroom had a use. Add it up. Cold mathematics, the answer never changes. Cold mathematics, the truth rearranges. Cold mathematics, the answer never changes. Cold mathematics, the truth rearranges.
Yo, Blacktop Warlord, let's go. Blacktop Warlord, crack the pavement when I land. Every city that I enter, I command. No negotiations on the terms of my arrival. Everything I touch turns to survival. Fists up, chest out, volume maximum level. Every bar I spit is straight from street bedlam devil. Couldn't hold me, couldn't mold me, couldn't break the foundation. Came up from the concrete with the warrior's patience. Explode on impact, that's the natural reaction. Every word a detonation, every verse attraction. Breaking through the ceiling that they built to keep us grounded. We came up from the underground and left them all astounded. Blacktop, that's the name, that's the sermon, that's the mission. Everything I built with surgical precision. Come correct or don't come, that's the code of the warlord. Every enemy I face got handled and ignored. Blacktop Warlord, can't stop this. Blacktop Warlord, non-stop this. Blacktop Warlord, rock the block with everything we got. Blacktop, Blacktop Warlord, can't stop this. Blacktop Warlord, non-stop this. Blacktop Warlord, rock the block with everything we got. Blacktop, maximum energy on minimum resources. Ran the track before they ever let me near the horses. Self-made, self-trained, self-sustained survivor. Came up out the wreckage like a cold-blooded driver. Steered a wheel through every storm without a compass. Everything was blurry, stayed focused on the promise. Land that I constructed in the mind first. Turned to nothing into something, quenched the grind thirst. Boots on the blacktop, laces double knotted. Everything they underestimated got demolished. Warlord, that's the status earned in combat. 20 years on pavement, this is where my home at. Every crowd I ever rock, remember what I brought them. Every student of the real already got the lesson taught them. Blacktop Warlord, the title never barred. Built this throne from the concrete, no sorrow. Blacktop Warlord, can't stop this. Blacktop Warlord, non-stop this. Blacktop Warlord, rock the block with everything we got. Blacktop, Blacktop Warlord, can't stop this. Blacktop Warlord, non-stop this. Blacktop Warlord, rock the block with everything we got. Blacktop. Blacktop Warlord, Blacktop, Blacktop Warlord, can't stop this. Blacktop Warlord, non-stop this. Blacktop Warlord, rock the block with everything we got. Blacktop, Blacktop Warlord, can't stop this. Blacktop Warlord, non-stop this. Blacktop Warlord, rock the block with everything we got. Blacktop.
Because they don't want to die. We making them feel it. I'm so cold, but you can't do that. Don't creep Commando.
Yeah! Brownsville! Let's go! Concrete Commando! Coming through the barricade. Everything in front of me is getting raised. Level 0, nothing standing in the radius. Maximum aggression, call the apparatus of the system. It can't hold what's been unleashed here. Every wall they built, we tore it down, no fear here. Brownsville manufactured something different in the furnace of the hardest, most consistent pressure ever placed upon the people in the borough. Came out the other side of fire, cold and thorough. Concrete Commando, that's the designation. Every mission executed without hesitation. Full commitment to the charge before us. Everything we face, nothing floors us. Maximum aggression is the only setting. Concrete Commando, no forgetting. Concrete Commando, move. Concrete Commando, prove everything they said we couldn't do. Concrete Commando, move. Concrete Commando, move. Concrete Commando, prove everything they said we couldn't do. Concrete Commando, move. Charging, never stop the forward motion. Everything we carry got the weight of the ocean. Brownsville taught us how to bear the heaviest burden. Run full speed through every obstacle. No curtain can contain the energy of what was built here. Everything they tried to quiet only got louder, real clear signal coming through the noise of their denial. Every
Wreckage Protocol activated.
Let's go! Wreckage Protocol initiated full system. Every barrier in front of me, I hit them at maximum velocity, no braking. Every wall they built was built for the taking down. With everything I carry in momentum, I was always going through. Don't mention the alternative, there was no alternative. Everything about the mission was collaborative. Between the will and the ability, no distance between what I want and what I do. Persistence is the variable they always underestimate. Everything they place in front I detonate and walk through. Wreckage in the rear view, nothing in the manual I never flew through before. Maximum protocol activated. Wreckage everything they feared, created. Wreckage Protocol, clear the path. Wreckage Protocol, do the math. Everything in front of us gets handled. Wreckage Protocol, no scandal. Full destruction of the obstacle before us. Everything they used to gate us and to floor us becomes the wreckage that we build the next thing on. Every limitation in the night became the dawn. Material for construction from the rubble. Everything they broke was just another double layer of foundation. Wreckage is the resource of the ones who know that every loss is a source of the next win. Reframe the wreckage. Everything destroyed becomes the beverage of the next iteration. Drink the lesson. Wreckage Protocol, no second guessing. Everything in front of us is manageable when maximum aggression is the manacle we wear as ornament. Wreckage is the business. Wreckage Protocol, bear witness. Wreckage Protocol, go, don't go. Clear the path. Wreckage Protocol, do the math. Everything in front of us gets handled. Wreckage Protocol, no scandal. Wreckage Protocol, maximum, let's go.
East, west. This is for the real ones.
Real steel, the measure of the genuine article. Everything that's built to last gets past the particle. Test of time, the real survives the decade. Everything that's fake eventually degrades into nothing. That's the law of the authentic. Real steel tempered through the real and the kinetic. Energy of living, not the energy opposing. Every real thing built was built with the exposing of the maker to the risk of real failure. Real steel is what it is, not what the tailor made to look like. Feel the difference in the weight. Everything that's real is heavy, that's the trait that separates the substance from the shadow. Real steel, no matter which coast, the metal is the same, the grind is universal. East to west, the code is not reversible. California to New York, the steel is same tempered. Every real one on both coasts, we all remembered what it meant to build from nothing in the concrete. Both sides of the country got the same hard heartbeat. Bump it, feel the resonance of the authentic. Everything we built from real becomes the genetic code of the culture, permanent and lasting. Real steel, the only thing worth casting into the future. Everything that's hollow will not survive the test. Real ones follow the material, not the appearance. Real steel on both coasts, same clearance level, same commitment to the genuine. Everything we built across the continent was built from real steel, forged in real fire. East to west, the real takes it higher. Standard bearer, that's the designation earned through every lesson that the real ones carefully learn and carry forward to the next. Who came behind them? The standard is the gift you leave for those who find them. Standing at beginning of the same road you travel. Before the path was cleared, before the code unraveled into something navigable. You made it possible by setting the example of the impossible becoming possible. Through dedication, standard bearer, that's the highest designation in the culture of the real and authentic. Everything that lasts was built by the genetic carriers of quality. No compromise, standard bearer, everything you recognize as excellence was built on someone's sacrifice. Standard bearer, that's the only worthwhile price. KRS said the teaching is the real power. Rakim showed the measure flow that stands each hour of his placement in the cipher. Still as current as the day it dropped, that's the standard, that's the current. You run against the test if what you carry measures up to what was built before. Those are the treasures that the real ones left behind for examination. Standard bearer, that's the highest station in the culture, earned through every demonstration of the craft, above the trend and the sensation of the moment. Real endures when moment passes. Standard bearer, the real never classes out of relevance, it deepens with the time. Every standard set in real becomes a rhyme that the future quotes. Standard bearer, that's the goal that every real one carries in the soul.
The standard was set by those who came before. Every bar you write should honor what they were.
And in the carrying forward of the standard, everything you build will be a candle lit by someone who came after in the darkness. Standard bearer, that's the highest, hardest designation. Not the fame, not the acclaim. Standard bearer means the craft, I'll last your name. Means that what you built provides the foundation for the next generation's navigation through the same road with the cleaner path before them. Standard bearer, that's the real I bore them. Upward, every bar a stone placed careful. Standard bearer, everything I'm grateful for was built by those who chose the standard over everything the moment offered, handled with the care of the craftsman and the lifer. Standard bearer, I became the cipher.
Never drops, never drops, never drops. Standard bearer, never bearer, the bearer, never drops.
At least 16 bars. Still standing on the same block. Yeah, iron gavel drops on every block I walk through. Concrete jungle got a code I always talk to. Shadows on the wall ain't just shadows, they breathing. Every exit got an entrance, every night got a reason. Queensbridge to Harlem, the message never changes. Same cold wind blowing through abandoned ranges. I move careful, watch the hands before the faces. Know the game too well to sleep in crowded places. 3 a.m. the city got a different kind of heartbeat. Hard concrete never gave me one for comfort. Dark street, I built calluses where other men built comfort. Nothing owed to me, I never asked for nothing. Chess moves in the dark, no board, just instinct. My survival got a language, cold and distinct. Every sunrise feel like something that I earned. Son, no handouts in this life. You live, you learn, done. They say the city got 1,000 ways to break you, 1,000 more to fake you out before they take you. I catalog them all, been studying the pattern. Every chain reaction, every piece that matters. Winter in the trenches got me locked in mental armor. Stay focused in the chaos like a cold-blooded farmer. Plant seeds in concrete, harvest what grows sideways. Midnight conversations on the roof, those were our good days. Now the block changed faces, old heads moved to vanish. Every corner got a lesson that I damn near panicked, but I gripped the ledge, stayed steady, kept composure. The closer came the pressure, got a little colder, not cold like heartless, cold like calculated. Every step I'm moving forward, predetermined, fated. The iron never rusts if you keep it in rotation. This ain't rap, this is documentation.
never bent, I ain't never stopped.
So this way, sorry. How can just feel on my faces, but watching feel a lace. I'm trying to call that between like it's my family.
Pressure system dropping on the block at 3 a.m. Every window dark except the ones that harbor them. Watchers always watching, that's the constant variable. Everything I navigate is barely manageable. Pressure from above and pressure from the concrete. Everything compressed between survival on repeat. I learned to breathe in tight spaces long ago. Built a lung capacity that others couldn't know. Was possible, adapted to the atmospheric weight of circumstance that others found hysteric. Calming the collapse, that's the only way to move. When everything around you has no traction and no groove. Find a frequency and lock it, hold it steady. Pressure system rising, I'm already ready. Forged beneath the weight of what they said would break me. Nothing in this pressure system ever gonna shake me. Calculated in survival in a pressure drop environment. Every element of danger gets my full alignment of attention. Focus locked like heat-seeking radar. I became the storm inside the storm, no fear, hard as the circumstance demanded, always present. Every lesson from the pressure was a present, wrapped in difficulty, open through endurance. Nothing soft inside the gift, pure assurance that the man who bends comes out the other side. Changed by what he carried, changed inside. Pressure system atmospheric and relentless. Nothing in the forecast indicates remission of the weight. So I adapted, got more sturdy. Every beautiful thing built through something dirty. Pressure makes the diamond, heard it from the concrete. Queensbridge physics, nothing you can teach me. Surviving, still the pressure never lifted. Everything I thought I'd lost became a gifted second angle on the situation. New perspective, every storm I navigated made me more effective. Pressure system, I became the eye inside it. Everything they tried to use to break me, I denied it. Access to the core, the foundation never crumbled. Even when the surface of my circumstance had tumbled. Built the structure underground before they saw it. Pressure system, I became the one who bore it. Long enough to build the thing they said was finished. Before I even started, now the doubt is diminished. Pressure system, it'll test you, let it. Everything you need to know, the pressure will have set it. Clear before you, trust the process of the weight. Pressure system, that's how diamonds get their shape. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Hey yo, no surrender written in the DNA. Never bend, every enemy I ever faced I broke before the end. This ain't bravado, this the code I live and breathe daily. Nothing in this cold world ever came to me easily. Crawled through the valley before I ever saw the mountain. No silver spoon, I drank from a broken fountain. Blood on my boots from the road I carved with bare hands. No compass, I navigated deserts in the promised lands. Chest out, head up, walk through fire like it's nothing. Every hurricane I faced was just another something. Built different from the ground up, pressure only strengthens. The battle never broke me, only added to my weapons. Stand in the storm and don't flinch, that's the manual. Every pain became a lesson that was valuable. No surrender, carved in stone across my chest. Bring everything you got, I handle the rest. Came from nothing, built a fortress brick by brick. Every obstacle they threw became another trick. Dodged the traps and kept the vision crystal clear. Worked the midnight hours while the weak slept without fear. Pressure builds diamonds, that's the ancient science. I became the diamond through complete reliance on the self, the code, the grind that never ceases. Every broken thing I touch much, I turned to masterpieces. They counted me out, so many times I lost the count. But every time they wrote me off, I found them out. Climbed it with the weight of every doubt they handed. Planted my flag at the top exactly as I planned it. No excuses in the manual of real ones. Steel, forge, and furnace, that's what builds the real sons. Every scar maps out the journey to this moment. No surrender, that's the vow, the code, the omen.
Questi Polygras, rätten departed fountain and Sturden and Unverworn, made the past in their second rank. Our three camps were the mining of the song in Newport and Bassenthane.
Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah.
Raw frequency broadcast from the borough. Every signal I transmit is uncut and thorough. No compression on the message, pure and unfiltered. Everything I built was built before the gilded age of everything. It sounds the same in processes. Real rap got calluses and battle possesses. Every scar across my knuckles tells a chapter. Worked the midnight hours with no pause and no laughter. Just a grind, a relentless forward motion. Brooklyn raised me with the cold and calculated ocean of experience that can't be bought or traded. Everything I am was built and never faded. Raw frequency, the signal never weakens. Even when the system try to silence him, it's freaking. What we built from nothing into something lasting. Raw material, no wax, no casting. Real, that's the universal signal. Every counterfeit gets filtered from the minimal contact with the truth of what we build here. Nothing soft survived the winter, everything was killed here. That ain't cold, that's evolution, that's selection. Every element that stayed became perfection. In the raw and unrefined and most authentic, everything the system calls a threat is sympathetic to the people who was left out of the picture. Every frequency I broadcast is a fixture in the culture of the real ones still remaining, while the counterfeit stays comfortable and fading. Rugged and relentless, that's the only frequency. Brooklyn to the world, transmitting with efficiency. Raw signal, never sanitize a package. Every bar spit is from the uncut average. Life for someone who survived by staying focused. Raw frequency, the realest and the closest.
The signal never stops. The frequency stays raw. What we built will last long past the final bar.
Raised on concrete. Let's go.
Raised on concrete, born in the borough of the real. Every bruise a lesson, every scar the deal that the city made with everyone it raised here. Nothing given freely, everything was paid here in the currency of time and dedication. Concrete education, no vacation from the school of hard knocks. Perpetual enrollment, every struggle in the city builds enrollment with the real. You either learn it or you don't. Everyone who stayed and built it either will or won't admit that concrete raised them into something. Every soft thing got replaced with something harder. That's the alchemy of the borough. Raised on concrete, made me cold and thorough in the understanding of what's real and what is surface. Everything the city built me for has purpose.
Love the city for the lessons, not the comfort. Every hard year in the concrete added something to the structure of the man I was becoming. All the early mornings and the late nights drumming up the will to keep the building in progression. Concrete raised me with a cold obsession with the real, with the authentic and the permanent. Everything the city taught me is determinant of who I am and where I go from here. Raised on concrete, I embrace the fear and work through it. The city taught me that lesson. Every fear confronted is the next progression on the map of what you're building in this lifetime. Raised on concrete, that's the paradigm I operate from. Everything is filtered through the concrete education that has built me. New York City gave me everything I know. The concrete and the cold, the ice and the flow. Raised on concrete. Always will be.
My father, it's cocaine. Yo. My father. Midnight Tribunal, the council takes its seats. Every decision made before the city sleeps. Coded language at the table, no outsiders. Street diplomacy conducted through providers of offenfation, calculation, navigation. Every empire runs on discipline and patience. Mafioso code embedded in the concrete. Everything they think they know about us is incomplete. Read the room before you enter, that's the protocol. Every handshake got a meaning in the protocol. Follow every thread before you cut the fabric. Nothing random in the structure, nothing sporadic. Built the empire on loyalty and silence. Everything we own, we earn through co-reliance. Midnight Tribunal, the verdict never questioned. Every soldier in the ranks received a lesson. My father. Cashmere and Concrete, the union of the real. Everything that glitters has a story in the deal. Underneath the polish of the surface, there's the grind. Years of midnight sessions, building blueprint and design. No loose ends in the texture of the empire. Every detail double check before we go higher. Surrounded by the generals who pass the test of loyalty. The court convenes at midnight, that's the royalty of the streets. A different kind of aristocracy, built on real relationships, not hollow hypocrisy. Every room we enter, we already map the exits. Nothing left to chance, we operate on checklists. Midnight Tribunal, the gavel made of iron. Every session adds a chapter to the lions. Legacy that stretches back through years of building. This ain't rap, it's history of the willing. My father. The tribunal convenes, the verdict stands. Iron judgment delivered by iron hands. Midnight, the council always meets. Curtain flow, pull it back and see the real. Every bar behind it got the density of steel. Harlem raised a different breed with different measurements. Everything I calculate arrives without the hesitance. Sharp tongue, sharper mind, sharpest in the cipher. Every punch I land in bars will make you wiser. Wordplay with the edge of a surgical instrument. Every syllable I choose is not coincident. It's deliberate, methodical, constructed. Every weak attempt at coming at me gets instructed out of the equation before the problem starts. I dissect the opposition into separate parts. I ain't curtain. When I pull it, you can't handle. Everything behind it burns too bright, no candle. Can't contain the wattage of the bars I'm carrying. Harlem to the world, the legend we've been marrying. Yeah.
best in the lyrical astronomy. Every star name burns with a real heat. Every verse I leave behind is something you can't delete. From the memory of anyone who heard it live. Real rap got a half-life, watch the truth survive. Long past the moment when the trend has evaporated. Everything I said is still exact and corroborated by the facts of what I witnessed and recorded. Harlem gave me angles that can't be afforded. With the currency of comfort and protection. Rawness is the gift of misdirection into something real, the iron and the fire that forged the curtain heavy with desire to be heard, to cut through, to leave a mark. Iron curtain flow, shining in the dark. Pull the curtain back, nothing artificial found. Pure iron, pure truth, pure Harlem underground. Pull the curtain back, nothing artificial found. Pure iron, pure truth, pure Harlem underground. Pull the curtain back, nothing artificial found. Pure iron, pure truth, pure Harlem underground. Pull the curtain back, nothing artificial found. Pure iron, pure truth, pure Harlem underground. Pull the curtain back, nothing artificial found. Pure iron, pure truth, pure Harlem underground. Pull the curtain back, nothing artificial found. Pure iron, pure truth, pure Harlem underground.
Sovereign Block. Establish the perimeter. Sovereign Block, we govern everything within it. Every law established long before you entered in it. Rules of engagement understood by every faction. No exceptions and no room for subtraction. From the code that built this block to what it is now. Understand the history before you question how we arrived at this position of authority. Seniority embedded in the territory. Walked these streets before the landmarks had their names. Played the game before they codified the games. Self-sufficient, never needed outside structure. Everything we built withstood the rupture of the pressure. They apply from every angle. Still standing, never caught inside the tangle. Sovereign Block, the D was never transferred. Everything we built here still remains preferred. Underground economy of real relationships. No handshake without honor, that's the fellowship. Established in the first days of the building. Every generation added to the gilding of the legacy. A living, breathing structure. Every block has got a spirit-filled rupture of the history beneath the concrete surface. Everything we built was built with purpose. Long before the cameras and the coverage, everything we are was built on blood and roughage of experience. No handbook for the process. Every obstacle we faced became our progress. Sovereign Block, the title isn't ceremonial. It's earned through everything that built the testimonial. We walk these streets and every stone remembers everything we carry every cold December.
T is earned, never given, never borrowed. Block remembers everything, through every joy and sorrow.
Star. Wait.
Every syllable a caliber. The ammunition in my magazine's a calendar of scheduled executions in the verbal tournament. Every line I speak is laced with iron nutrients. Dense and heavy, that's the natural weight of everything I carry in the freight.
of every bar I wrote at midnight in the cipher. Everything I am inside this booth is lifer. Quality, I never dropped the standard lower. Every challenge to the throne just made me colder. In the focus of the craft, no room for fumbling. When the real ones come correct, there's never stumbling. Through the syllables, I move with calculated speed and weight combined, underestimated by the ones who never felt the real density of verbal warfare, real intensity. It's not just speed, it's weight per syllable. Every word should land like something indivisible. From the impact of what's real and what it's saying. Something, not the echo of the others playing at the art of what we built from scratch and nothing. Every bar should leave the listener clutching for something solid. That's the gift of real rap. Feel that everything I do comes with a real map to the meaning underneath the surface structure. Every rhyme I build has got a rupture. Point where the real breaks through the language. Heavy flow is the solution to the anguish of the superficial. Depth is the prescription. Every word selected, surgical precision. Verbal warfare, the campaign never ended. Everything I build is always worth defending. Every syllable a soldier, every bar a battalion. The verbal warfare campaign will outlast a medallion. Every syllable a soldier, every bar a battalion. The verbal warfare campaign will outlast a medallion. Concrete sermon on a mount of broken asphalt. Every word I speak is sharp, you gotta vault. Swords drawn in the mental dojo, sharp and focused, no smoke signals, I communicate through lotus. Street scripture written in the margins of survival. Every chapter got a test to prove your arrival. Iron tongue deliver messages like carrier pigeons. Street religion got more chapters than the given. Pull the curtain back and watch the gears behind the empire. Every gilded thing you see was built on something dire. I dissect the system with a cold precision. Every breath I take inside this booth is a decision. Blood, sweat, the weight of 1,000 broken promises. No illusions, this is raw, no varnish, honest. The clan established codes that hold the structure. Every bar I spit is surgical, a rupture. Loaded with the wisdom of the concrete. No retreat in the manual, stand and compete. 7 deadly lessons wrapped inside a cipher. Every student in the street became a lifer. Knowledge equal power, but the street tax is heavy. Kept my mental fortress standing cold and ready. See through facades like ghosts through ancient walls. I was built in corridors, survived the halls. Mind sharp like Damascus, forged in pressure. Every test I passed became my greatest treasure. No shortcuts in the dojo of real living. Every scar I carry represents what I was given. Speak the truth in codes because the walls got ears. Everything you planted in the dark appears. Concrete sermon delivered to the fallen and the rigid. This is underground gospel, raw and vivid. The streets don't lie, the streets don't sleep. The sermon echoes where the iron speaks. Popping up these pieces, they go hard on. Those test band making we the whole squad. Popping up these pieces, they go hard on. When your damn pages, when your days, we rapping. Popping up these pieces, they go hard on. Those test band making we the whole squad. Popping up these pieces, they go hard on.
Never be
Yeah. Ironclad code encrypted in the syllable structure. Every bar a document, a cellular rupture of the ordinary into something elevated. Everything I touch with words gets dedicated to the craft of the precise and the immaculate. Every rhyme scheme built to be spectacular but never flashy. Substance over surface, every word selected for its ultimate purpose in the architecture of the verse as living document. Every listener who hears it should feel confident that what they receive was something real and lasting. Ironclad code, the real never needs casting in a different light to make it shine. It shines alone. Every truth I speak is true without the microphone, but amplified it reaches every corner. Ironclad code, no one built it warmer. Measured like a metronome, precise and relentless. Every bar I construct is comprehensive in its coverage of the concept that I'm building. Every listener an architect I'm gilding with the understanding of the code I carry. Ironclad, it doesn't bend or vary from the truth of what it is at its foundation. Every rhyme scheme is a mathematical equation, balanced, every syllable accounted, every image crystal clear and mounted in the mind before it settles to the permanent. Every word I choose is not coincident. It's surgical, it's chosen, it's deliberate. Every single bar I spit, I celebrate the craft, not the result, the process of the making. Real art was never built by those who were faking.
The code is ironclad.
It bends for no one.
The truth inside the cipher
has already won.
The code is ironclad.
It bends for no one.
The truth inside the cipher
has already won. And in the final movement of the cipher, everything converges, every rhyme gets riper with the meaning that was planted in the seeding of the first bar. Now the harvest needs no pleading, it arrives. The understanding breaks the surface. Every listener will feel the final purpose of the bars that built from the bottom to the summit. Every piece assembled, now it's time to run it. Back from the beginning, hear the architecture. Every brick I place becomes the lecture. Hall of the eternal, ironclad forever. Break the code apart and put it back together. Find the blueprint in the structure of the language. Ironclad code, the real cures the anguish of not knowing. That's the gift of the devoted. Every word I ever said was pre-devoted to the real. The only thing that lasts, ironclad code stands when everything else passes.
West Side, Warchief Mentality. Let's go. Warchief mentality, forged in the fire of the system. Every time they built a wall, I found a schism, cracked it open, walked through. Never looked behind me, every obstacle they placed was just designed to find me. Weaker, but they found me, stronger than the obstacle. The impossible is just deny it possible. Warchief built his rank through years of real experience. Nothing granted, everything required perseverance. Read the art of war before I read the contract. Every clause a trap, I navigate it, counteract, think 10 moves ahead before I make the first one. Never let the enemy dictate where my verse runs. West Coast raised, concrete and palm trees. Understand the game better than the authority. Warchief mentality, the rank is never inherited. Every position on this board was built and merited it. The maze and handed us the manual, then removed the exits, made the whole thing mechanical. Ran in circles for a generation, we broke the cycle. Every revolution starts inside a rifle of the mind. The mental weaponry of knowing, understanding how the seeds were planted and were growing in the soil of the circumstance they chose for us. Warchief stands up, addresses what was close to us. No permission for the truth we've been delivering. Every system that they built we've been re-engineering from the bottom, taking back the blueprint. Every lie they package, we've been calling it out in plain language. No code, no cipher. Every warchief worth its rank becomes a lifer in the movement that was building long before us. West Coast hardcore, nothing here is porous. Warchief mentality, never surrender it. Warchief mentality, they never mirrored it. The power that we carry in the gene code. Warchief mentality, this is the creed, bro. Warchief mentality, never surrender it. Warchief mentality, they never mirrored it. The power that we carry in the gene code. Warchief mentality, this is the creed, bro. justice blessing. I know we're the best, so don't fucking show me. Midnight Tribunal, the council takes its seats. Every decision made before the city sleeps. Coded language at the table, no outsiders. Street diplomacy conducted through providers of information, calculation, navigation. Every empire runs on discipline and patience. Mafioso code embedded in the concrete. Everything they think they know about us is incomplete. Read the room before you enter, that's the protocol. Every handshake got a meaning and a protocol. Follow every thread before you cut the fabric. Nothing random in the structure, nothing sporadic. Built the empire on loyalty and silence. Everything we own, we earn through co-reliance. Midnight Tribunal, the verdict never questioned. Every soldier in the ranks received a lesson. Cashmere and Concrete, the union of the real. Everything that glitters has a story and a deal. Underneath the polish of the surface there's the grind. Years of midnight sessions, building blueprint and design. No loose ends in the architecture of the empire. Every detail double check before we go higher. Surrounded by the generals who pass the test of loyalty. The court convenes at midnight, that's the royalty of the streets. A different kind of aristocracy, built on real relationships, not hollow hypocrisy. Every room we enter, we already mapped the exits. Nothing left to chance, we operate on checklist. Midnight Tribunal, the gavel made of iron. Every session adds a chapter to the Lion's legacy that stretches back through years of building. This ain't rap, it's history of the willing. The Tribunal convenes, the verdict stands. Iron judgment delivered by iron hands. Midnight. The council always meets. Borough of Fire! Borough of Fire, everything here burns different. Every lesson learned the hard way, feel the gristle of the real, no seasoning required. Everything about this place is hardwired into the DNA of everyone who came up. In the furnace of the borough never gave up, even when the odds were calculated fatal. Everything we built without a label or permission from the ones who hold the clipboard. Every victory we claim, we struck a real chord that resonated through the Borough of the Fire. Everything we did was built to take it higher than the ceiling of the possible they posted. Everything they said we couldn't do, we toasted. At the table of the one, the battle finished. Borough of Fire, nothing here is diminished. Rough road manufactured rough riders. Naturally, every element of easy was a casualty of the process that the borough put before us. Every soldier who emerged came out more porous to the real, more open to the lesson of the fire. Every test became a blessing. In the language of the hard and the authentic, everything we built here is genetic, passed from one generation to the other. Borough of Fire, every soldier is a brother in the regiment that built itself through difficulty. Every easy road was just a different trickery to distract us from the building. We stayed focused. Everything they offered as an antidote we noticed was a trap. We kept the building going. Borough of Fire, still burning, still glowing.
was inevitable. Everything I built was from the most incredible, unlikely starting point. They never saw it coming. Every step I made was calculated. Never running from the challenge, always toward it, head first. Everything they said was worse became my best verse. Written in the margins of the difficult. Everything I am today is the residual of the years of building. In the shadow of the doubt, every person who said no became a route around the obstacle. I found the angle, cold throne, no coronation, no bugle, just the weight of what I carry, and the knowing that everything I planted would be growing into something that the skeptics would acknowledge. Cold throne, this is more than just a knowledge. King is not a title, it's a function. Every decision that I make is a junction between the comfortable and the necessary. Everything I chose was calculated, contrary to the path of least resistance. I chose harder. Every version of myself became a smarter iteration, built through real experience. Cold throne, the difference in the deference that the real receives against the counterfeit. Every king who built his throne from nothing yet has more authority than those who inherited. Everything I own was built, not merited by birthright, by the grind and by the vision. Cold throne, the real king made his decision. Early in the process, chose the building. Cold throne, and everything it's yielding.
Cold throne was built from what they said was nothing. Every stone placed by hands that kept on pushing.
Turn the town niggas. Turn the town niggas out there. Jeans when the brown died. This blue is fucking glowing, niggas. Yeah. Gutter will protect ya. Built from the ground that was given. Everything above the gutter was a prize worth living for and dying for, and everything between it. Whoever claims they understand this life, they've never seen it. Cold reality of the gutter is a blueprint. No illusions on the floor where the truth went. After everything they promised and delivered nothing. Built from what remained after the scathing disappointment of the system that was designed to fail us. Everything they used to frame us couldn't jail us long enough to break the building that we started. Gutter architecture built by the broken-hearted into something with a function and a structure. Every crack became a window, every rupture an entrance to a different kind of knowledge. Gutter is the most authentic kind of college. Class conducted on the stoop at midnight. Every lesson learned through darkness and through dim light. Cast from street lamps on the wet concrete of winter. Every word I know was pulled out of a splinter of experience that cuts deep and leaves the mark permanent. I carry it through every park, an avenue and corridor that made me. Gutter architecture, the city that displayed me. In its rawest, most uncompromised expression, everything I am is the answer to a question that the gutter asked before I had the language. Everything I learned was learned before the anguish. Got a name, coded nameless, was the teacher. Gutter architecture, I became the preacher of the real, the documentation of the survival. Gutter architecture, the eternal revival. The gutter is the ground floor of everything that's real, built from what remains after everything they steal.
Structure. Well, let's the route now. Folk get better the freshen us. Bone structure, what remains after everything is stripped. Every layer of the surface peeled and flipped to expose the fundamental that was holding everything together. The original molding of a man who came from nothing and built upward. Every challenge that they launched I converted into momentum. Every doubt became a stepstone. Every enemy attack became the next zone of development. I leveled up through opposition. Everything they threw became part of the mission. Bone structure never bent beneath the pressure. Everything they said was wrong just made me better. Stripped to the essential, what remains is iron. Everything they tried to do was just applying heat to forge the core to something permanent. Bone structure, this is what the tournament. Was always for the proving ground selected, the ones with bone structure, battle tested, vetted through the years of real and not the years of comfort. Bone structure built from everything that once hurt. Now the pain is just the archive of the process. Every scarred trophy, that's the honest truth of what it means to build through fire. Bone structure, the internal architecture higher than anything they tried to use to limit. Every ceiling that they placed, I smashed through in it. Came out the other side with something harder. Every limitation made the structure smarter, adapted to the pressure. Bone to diamond, bone structure, that's the science I've been rhyming about since the beginning of the cipher. Everything you see is just a bone, go deeper.
Fortress built from the inside. Every wall I raised was something I survived. Biblical, the architecture of my understanding. Long before the battle, I was always planning for the siege that comes to every soldier in the winter. Every diamond mine was forged inside a splinter of the universe's darkness. That's the origin of everything I carry. Every discipline I'm touring in. The 7 seals of understanding broke before me. Every revelation added to the story, written long before my birth. An ancient cipher, every verse I walk is on a pilgrimage of lifer. In the temple of the real and the devoted. Everything I know was taught before it was quoted. Siege mentality, prepare the walls for winter. Every battle teaches something to the victor. Ancient wisdom in the architecture of the modern struggle. Every breakthrough comes in waves that burst the bubble of the comfortable. The siege is always near. Everything that makes you comfortable is fear. Wearing comfort's clothing, recognize the costume. Every soldier knows the difference in a real room. From a stage one, feel the frequency of danger. Siege mentality converts the saint to ranger of the mental battlefield. No quarter given. Everything I understood was sold or driven out of reach before I had the tools to reach it. Built the tools from scratch before I had to teach it. 12 apostles of the concrete congregation, every sermon on the block. A revelation, siege mentality embedded in the marrow. Every wisdom I acquired through the narrow path that opens when the siege is finally lifted. Everything I am came from what I was gifted. Through the fire, through the darkness, through the proven siege mentality. The walls were always moving.
The siege never ends, only changes in its form. The fortress that you build inside must weather
And in the final chapter of the siege eternal, everything external becomes internal. Walls you build outside are just extensions of the architecture of your own dimensions. The real siege is mental, always was and is. Everything I conquered started with the quiz that the universe presented in the mirror. Every answer that I found just made it clearer that the battle is the building, not the winning. Every ending in this cipher is a beginning. Siege mentality, the fortress is the soldier. Everything I carry makes me colder and more precise. The temperature of diamond. Every verse I write is on the highest island of the consciousness. The siege became the teacher. Siege mentality, I am the fortress and the creature. The siege, the fortress, the fire, the soldier, the cipher, the wire.
Unmarked territory. Walk careful.
Unmarked territory. No signs for the unfamiliar. Yeah. Unmarked territory, no signs for the unfamiliar. Every step you take in unknown land gets peculiar fast unless you studied the terrain before arriving. Bucktown raised the ones who mastered simply is surviving in the unmarked zones where maps and provide no guidance. Every inch earned through a different kind of science. Feel the pulse beneath the pavement, learn the language. Every stranger in the territory feels the anguish of not knowing. That's the first lesson of the real ones. Those who know move silent, that's the code of steel sons. Unmarked territory got its own cartography. Read it through experience, not through photography of someone else's journey. Walk your own terrain. Every path you cut through virgin land leaves a stain of your passage. That's your contribution to the mapping. Bucktown, underground, real ones know what's happening. Yeah. Charted everything we built with our own instruments. No outside validation of our measurements. We know what we built and what it means to those who built it. Every counterfeit who entered felt the guilt of pretending in a space that has a real pulse beating. Bucktown never ever stopped the real from seating at the table of the true and the authentic. Everything we built here is forever genetic in the culture, in the brick, in every corner. Unmarked territory got its own reporter, broadcasting the frequency of what was built here. Everything that's permanent was built with the real gear of experience, no shortcuts in the process. Every genuine thing eventually surfaces above the counterfeit. The real floats on top. Bucktown underground, the truth never gonna stop. Unmarked territory. Draw your own map. Everything real has no label on the back.
scientist, the lab is the block at nightfall. Every experiment I run inside the right hall of the mind, where the real research happens outside the institution. Underground, what's cracking? Periodic table made of concrete elements. Every compound I discovered has its relevance to the formula of survival in the urban equation. Pull the curtain back, disturb the comfortable assumptions of the surface dwellers. Real chemistry is taught by underground storytellers. Every molecule of truth I isolated. Took a decade in the lab before it graduated to the theorem. Now it stands as proven science. Every element of fakeness meets defiance in the lab of the authentic street scientist. The results are published, real if you can manage this. Chess in 3 dimensions, on a concrete chessboard. Every piece I move considered, that's the real sword of the mind. Sharper than the blade of metal. Every problem that I solve adds to the metal. Counter victories that built this reputation. Liquid sword philosophy meets calculation of the highest order. Nothing left to accident. Every step I take already had its precedent. In the study I conducted in the trenches, all the lessons learned from sitting on the benches of the street university. PhD in real, everything they teach in institutions can't congeal the lived experience into something manageable. Liquid swords and chess moves, nothing scandalous about the truth. It's only dangerous to liars. Street scientists, the real one never tires.
The experiment continues. The data doesn't lie. Street science is the oldest knowledge underneath the sky.
And the final theorem proves what I suspected. Every path that leads to truth was misdirected by the ones who built the maze to keep us circling. Everything I understand is worth unearthing, from the concrete, from the silence, from the witness of a generation running at full fitness of the mental. Broke the record that they set us. Every limitation that they gave, forget us. We transcended what they said was our ceiling. Street scientists, the truth is always healing, even when it stings, especially when it stings. Every revelation in the lab has wings that carry it beyond the block, beyond the borough. Street science is the most precise and thorough documentation of the real in any language. Every truth discovered cures the anguish. Street scientists. The lab never closes. The experiment continues.
Yeah. Mafio. Lono. The hardest element, forged in the deepest pressure. Every composition in the periodic lecture of the street reveals a compound previously unknown. Everything I am was built from being thrown into the deepest, coldest, most demanding laboratory of survival, understanding, born from direct contact with the fire. Everything I am was purified through desire to be real, authentic, unimpeachable. Everything I stand on is impeachable by nothing, forced to last through every testing. Hardest element, the system keeps investing in the containment of what can't be contained. Every attempt to hold me only gain me more leverage in the push against resistance. Hardest element, I've been consistent. Calculated every angle of the landscape. Understood the game before they handed me the handbook. Wrote my own, revised it through the seasons. Every chapter added, multiplied the reasons for continuing the building and the forging. Every element of comfort I kept storing. Far from the process, comfort makes you softer. Everything I need, I find inside the harder path, the road that no one else was willing. Every lesson from the hardest element is filling gaps in the foundation, make it stronger. The structure that will stand here longer than the builders, that's the goal of every titan. Hardest element, the darkness and the brighten. Future built from everything the darkness taught me. Hardest element, no cost was ever costly. survives what the softer cannot hold. Pressure-fied time, the story's always told.
Philosopher, my classroom got no ceiling. Got a doctorate in real from years of dealing with the truth that textbooks never had the nerve to publish. Every lesson cost me something, blood and rubbish. Navigated through the concrete corridors of knowledge. Never needed institution, street was college. Read the faces like a manuscript, delivering every story in the eyes before the giving. Understood the code that separates a genuine, everything they call authentic. I was penning every jazz note, hit me like a sermon in the chapel. Turn the rhythm to a weapon, turn the weapon to a grapple. Hold the system to the fire of interrogation. Every answer incomplete without examination. Street philosopher, the thesis never finished. Long as I'm alive, the conversation isn't. Pencils on the edge of cold reality. Every verse I write dismantles the banality of the surface that they sell as satisfaction. Nothing here is accidental. It's all traction built on systems that were built to keep us grinding in the dark. Without the tools they needed finding, but we found them in the music, in the cipher. Every truth we uncovered made us lifer to the real art. No commercial compromise. Every rhyme I write is looking through the skies to the marrow of the matter, to the bone. Every word I speak, a monument in stone, no erasure. What is said can't be unsaid. What is real will still be real when we are dead. Street philosopher, the record keeps on spinning. End of every cycle is another beginning.
Philosophy of street, the real curriculum. Philosophy of street, the real continuum.
When they can't stand my collar, I've never been the same since I have right again. When they can't stand my the night before, when they can't stand I've never been the shed since the I get it.
Shadow architecture built in the places that the light skips. Every dark corner of the city got its own scripts written on the wall and codes for those who read it. Everything authentic for the ones who need it. Shadow work is different from the surface labor. Every detail in the darkness has a flavor that the daylight can't reveal. It needs the shadow to see the depth, the real work in the meadow of the underground is always more complex. Every shadow has a structure, nothing hex or random in the building of the dark design. Shadow architecture, every element aligns with the purpose of the whole. The real craftsman knows the shadow work before the final last run. Shadow architecture built to last in darkness, and in light the real survives regardless.
In the sheds, yeah, forever. Level in the sheds, yeah, forever. Level in the sheds, yeah, forever. Level in the sheds.
Premier taught me how to hear the chop inside the sample. Every detail of the craft provides the ample evidence of dedication to the real thing. Every element assembled, nothing fake bring
Energy into the session, leave the counterfeit. Outside the booth, shadow work is definite. Commitment to the craft above the comfort. Every late night session added to the number of hours logged in. The shadow architecture building. Every bar I place inside the song is gilded. The structure with the real, the craft is patient. Shadow architecture, the real foundation of everything that stands above the surface. Every monument was built below its purpose. Level, shadow architecture first, then the structure rises. That's the universe. The shadow does the work. The surface gets the credit. The real ones know the difference, and the real ones never forget it. The shadow does the work. The surface gets the credit. The real ones know the difference, and the real ones never forget it. When that PS, man, my drama, great time. Nothing things chance, just an half off dead.
Gavel drops on every block I walk through. Concrete jungle got a code I always talk to. Shadows on the wall ain't just shadows they breathing. Every exit got an entrance, every night got a reason. Queensbridge to Harlem, the message never changes. Same cold wind blowing through abandoned ranges. I move careful, watch the hands before the faces. Know the game too well to sleep in crowded places. 3 a.m. the city got a different kind of heartbeat. Hard concrete never gave me warmth or comfort. Dark street I built calluses where other men build comfort. Nothing owed to me, I never asked for nothing. Chess moves in the dark, no board, just instinct. My survival got a language, cold and distinct. Every sunrise feel like something that I earned, son. No handouts in this life, you live, you learn, done. They say the city got 1,000 ways to break you, 1,000 more to fake you out before they take you. I catalog them all, been studying the pattern. Every chain reaction, every piece that matters. Winter in the trenches got me locked in mental armor. Stayed focused in the chaos like a cold-blooded farmer. Plant seeds in concrete, harvest what grows sideways. Midnight conversations on the roof, those were our good days. Now the block changed faces, old heads moved to vanish. Every corner got a lesson that I damn near panicked. But I gripped the ledge, stayed steady, kept composure. The closer came the pressure, got a little colder. Not cold like heartless, cold like calculated. Every step I'm moving forward, predetermined, faded. The iron never rusts if you keep it in rotation. This ain't rap, this is documentation. Still standing on the same block. I ain't never been, I ain't never stopped.